if we turn this into stopping at every Walgreens we run into too, like we would still. Well, I think we'd still be in Scottsdale right now.
Yeah.
I feel a little self-conscious toy shopping in Walgreens. I don't know why.
It's weird, right?
It is very bizarre.
Like Target or Walmart or something like that.
Makes more
fine,
sense.
But like going to a Walgreens and as two grown-ass adults looking for toys.
There was three of us.
Seems weird to me.
There was three of us.
For some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
majority
Mike
of the three of us.
Paige are the adults.
Oh, that's okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. It's a valid point.
The large bearded child that we were responsible for.
Ooh, toys.
The real purchase of the day is I got Jim that vampire minion. It's supposed to be a Halloween display. And that crazy bitch just took it to work and put it in her office. It's like 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's so big, dude. Like this big.
Yeah, that picture doesn't really do it justice. It looked like, maybe like a foot tall or something like that.
No, dude, it's so massive.
No.
I was like, don't take that to work. She's like, why? Like, got mad at me. I was like, whatever, do what you gotta do. Sorry.
I like that she gets mad at you.
Yeah, Jen, by the way, she'll tell you guys if you see her anytime soon, but she's been trying to run, like she's been training for that 5K. And so the other day on the treadmill, she did the 5K distance, had a couple stops, but she did it on a treadmill. Today, we actually just got home like an hour ago from it. We went out to a track and she did a 5K nonstop, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. Crazy bitch.
How far is a 5K? I don't.
3.1 and some hot change miles. So just over 3 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
She didn't stop once. And I was like, Jesus Christ. She went into that run thinking like, all right, let me get my 2 miles in without stopping and we'll stop and catch my breath. But it was good weather. She didn't have to wear a mask because nobody else was out there. And fucking, she just booked it, dude. I was like, nice. My fucking legs would blow up if I tried to run that, dude.
Back when I used to have an access to a treadmill, I used to be able to run pretty far like that with nonstop. But I know when was the last time I was on a treadmill? Jesus Christ, I can't remember when
2012
it was, but I remember the last time that I was on a treadmill. I couldn't make it like a mile without like stopping. Yeah. Treadmills are no joke, especially running outside too. That's the other thing. I can actually run longer on a treadmill, I think, than I can outside because I've always tried running outside.
It's easier on the joints. Yeah.
And I just can't do it.
She's good though, man. She killed it. I think she had something like a 12-minute pace for the 3 miles.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really good. Once the marathons start opening up again, you guys gonna go? We gonna do the Pat Tillman run like you promised like 5 fucking years ago?
Nah, yeah, someday. I don't know about the next one.
Well, yeah, we're not necessarily saying the next one.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, this is the lowest I've weighed in probably like 7-8 years. So I'm closer now, but like, dude, running over 300 pounds is like just letting somebody hit you in the fucking face with a 2x4. Like it's not a good thing. It's not healthy. It's not productive. It's just not good. But yeah, I was
fair.
Now that I'm where I wanted to be. I wanted, after I dipped below 300, I was gonna start running. So next week, I'm gonna start some treadmill running and just see how that goes. See where I'm at with that. I want to get the best. Like, I just want to get to a point where, like, on days that I lift, I can just run a quick mile before I lift or after I lift for my cardio.
After.
Yeah, and then just be done with cardio. Like, that's kind of really the only goal I want with running. But if that goes okay after a couple weeks, I'll see if I can start amping it up. But
I'm sure it will. I mean, how long did you spend on the elliptical today? I'm pretty sure you just sat on the elliptical for the past couple of days, just sitting there going, "I'm gonna beat Joe. I'm gonna beat Joe. I'm gonna beat Joe."
yeah, pretty much.
Fucking, I gotta get to 600. Gotta get like, because your weightlifting today was like 200 and something like points or something like that.
Yeah,
I
I was
okay.
pissed about that.
I was
Like,
like, okay, respectable. And then your elliptical today, 857 calories. I can just imagine that you finished that weight training was just like, nope, fuck that. I'm just gonna hop on the elliptical until I get to 600 goddamn points.
yeah, well, that was my plan coming into this week. Was I was like, well, days where I don't work, like don't lift, I'm gonna do an hour and a half on the elliptical, and days that I lift, I'm just gonna do an hour on the elliptical. And but then I realized doing that twice, I was like, that's not enough to get to 600 points on a day that I'm off work. Because when I'm at work, I'll burn like 600, 700 calories at work.
Right.
Because I'm walking and hauling ass. So I was all like, today when I got done, I was like, well, I'm not working today and I have nothing else to do. I was like, if I just do the hour, like I'm not gonna get it. So I had to stay on an extra 20 minutes. But that last 20 minutes was, dude, I was barely moving on it. I was like, please hit 600. I just want to go inside so bad. My legs felt like they were in cement, dude. I was like,
well, good. If you're gonna try and beat me that hard, you might as well suffer for it.
yeah, well, I am, you piece of shit. And then, like, and the thing, I wasn't like, since we're talking about it, since it's not a big deal, is like I was looking, I was like, well, if I hit 600 every day, because I'm going to Tucson this weekend, and like the whole plan was Saturday we're going to Tucson, we're hanging out at my brother-in-law's, we're just gonna hang out by the pool, have some drinks, and eat a bunch of trash food. And I was like, okay, well now before I go on Saturday, I have to get a good long workout in. And I was like, I really don't want to do anything on Sunday. So I was like, I really hope I build up a lead going into Sunday, because I know I'm just going to be, but like if you're too close, I'm going to be like, have to wake up Sunday morning and like go for a run or something. I'm going to have to figure it out, or see if any gyms will sell me a 1-day pass so I can go in there.
No, I think you're gonna handily beat me this week, unfortunately.
As long as you fucking take a rest day, like I was looking back too, and that's the other thing too, is I was looking back at your history. I was scrolling back, I was all like, okay, he didn't work out on that Saturday. That's okay, Saturday's his off day. I was all like, if I could just get to Saturday and that piece of shit takes an off day on Saturday, I'll be okay going into Sunday.
That's because that is my one rest day for these past 3 weeks. It's a 6-day workout week.
Ugh.
Next week I go to 3, so this is my last week. Would have been my last week to try and beat you. But the thing is that the stuff that I do that burn the most calories are at the beginning of the week. Everything else from here on out is either like today was arms, and so that doesn't really get my heart rate going that much. And tomorrow is an abbreviated leg day.
Oh, okay.
But it's not as intense as Monday's was.
That's the other thing too, is I know you're more disciplined than me in the fact that like you have an actual goal and you're not gonna like hurt yourself for a stupid side thing. I will blow out my hamstrings and my knees to make sure I don't lose, because I don't want anybody talking shit. If it's something I know I can win, I'm gonna try. Like, there's plenty of things. Like, if you challenge me to a foot race, I was like, cool. I know I'm gonna get my ass whooped. No, but I was like, a week's worth of exercise. Like, it's possible for me to win. So I'm gonna be really upset if I don't fucking win. And like, yeah, I might have to take a whole week off in the next week to recover, but I'll get that week.
If I just had a treadmill.
Yeah, thank God you don't.
Right?
Because I'm declining your next challenge. Whatever it is, I'm going to wait a little bit.
Well, hold on. I want to have an actual chance of winning, and I won't be able to win for another, 6 weeks. So, because 3-day workout weeks are not going to cut it against you. or even 4-day work weeks aren't going to cut it. I literally have to work out 6 days a week to just
Yeah, well, that's what last
beat
week
you.
I usually take a Wednesday, and I take Wednesdays as a real light day where I'll just do some yoga and like 30 minutes on the elliptical. But when I woke up last week and I saw you already got a workout in because I slept in, I was like, this motherfucker. I was so mad, dude.
Good.
Good.
Cody, what you send us?
Sent you a link.
Nothing important. Because it says Fast and Furious is going to space. Nothing important.
In 9? No.
Yeah, they fucked
They're
up.
supposed to wait
It's
till
supposed to be 10.
10. It's a Fast X. We
Yeah.
laid this out for him.
Yeah,
Right?
they're fuck stick. We all know that. They're jumping the shark.
Never
Dummies.
jump the shark.
Speaking of jumping the shark, comes naturally. We are.
Joe.
Mike.
I am Cody. Welcome to this week's episode, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
I saw that and I was like, well, that's dumb. I don't like it. You guys are stupid. You're not following what we told you to follow, so you're not getting my money.
Like
Also,
you're gonna get your money anyway.
no, not at all. Did you see that Thor: Love and Thunder will be using the same VFX tech that they use in the Mandalorian?
No.
Yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
Shoot with that same stuff, apparently.
That was at, what was that?
Virtual visual effects, so you can see
Yeah.
the background shifts behind them. So instead of using a blue screen or a green screen, it's literally they're shooting on a screen that will be moving around in the virtual world, so they can see exactly where they're at, and the
That's
camera
right.
always
Yeah,
captures
that's
it. Less building sets, less to environmental stuff you have to shoot around and stuff like that.
Plus, better direction for your actors instead of just being like, yeah, there's going to be something over there. You're just going to look at
Here's
it.
a
You
golf
actually have
ball.
something to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine a spaceship over there. Yeah.
Ooh, no, you're rather right. Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
No, a scary
That's
spaceship.
spacey.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Scary spaceship.
That's cool.
Did you guys see the Xbox announcements?
I did.
I did. I
Would-
at least saw, I think, what you're getting at.
What do you think I'm getting at?
Well, the price point for them.
Yep.
Which I don't remember off the top of my head what the price point for either of the consoles are, because you have the two that are coming out, the Series S and the Series X.
Yep.
But the main thing is that the Series S will be $25 a month for 2 years, which will include Ultimate Pass.
Yep.
And the Series X will be $35 a month.
Yep.
Including the Ultimate Pass.
And soon to
For 2
include EA access as well.
Oh, that's right. And EA Access, which is just going to add more games, more EA games, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's gonna have access to a lot of the EA games, things like the Maddens and all those different sports ones.
Because that's what I need is more Maddens.
I know. That's why I knew you were excited about it.
So excited. So excited to see a glitchy ass game.
Hey, it's no fucking WWE game.
Or a Ubisoft game.
Yeah,
But
face
still-
disappear.
I've watched so many videos of people showing glitches at that game where it's just like a row of football players trying to catch a ball that's just like juggling between like their helmets. They're like running down the field doing that, only to have it just like fall off, and then that was the end of the play. And it's like, how can your game be this bad?
The weird thing with Madden though is like this Madden's actually getting pretty good like reviews and stuff this year, but you'll see all the glitch things, but then you got to think about like there's so many people playing so many games. You know what I mean? Like day
Yeah,
one of Madden is so ridiculous how many sales and downloads they get every single year. It wasn't like NBA 2K came out and the glitches on that are like you could see them, but then like everybody hates the fucking game.
Mhm.
Like you see the glitches on Madden, but there's like it's got a pretty positive vibe for it. Like a lot of people were like, it's the same as last, where it's always pretty much
It's
the
always
same
gonna
as
be the
last
same.
year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't.
Like,
the worst is still the fact that like WWE 2K was just like, we're not making another game next year because this game's so bad because we're gonna need a while to fix this. And so as long as they don't get to that level, I think they're doing okay.
fair enough. Yeah, I didn't take into account, like, I actually don't know what the review score of the newest Madden game is. I just know of it from all the glitches and the fun physics stuff that I see on Reddit and Chive and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're right, like millions of people buy it. Of course, there are going to be like hundreds of glitches, you know, out there. Maybe a little bit, obviously more than that.
The
but
difference
that's still a
was
good batting average.
Yeah, the difference was like when WWE came out, it was literally like everybody's game. Because like, when I was playing Madden, you get like a glitch here or there. You're like, oh, that was fucking stupid. Where like a ball. Like I remember one time, one of the first times I played online. Can't remember which Madden that was. But, like, I had 3 passes in a row just literally go right through the receiver, like, through the receiver's body. And he turned around and looked. Like, the animation was like, oh, I missed it. I was like, no, you're a ghost. You don't have the mass. And I was real upset about it.
You skinny bitch.
But, like, when WWE came out, literally everybody's game had glitches. Like, nobody got a clear game. Like if you searched WWE 2K on Twitter, there was nobody saying anything positive about the game. Everyone was just being like, well, just got power palm through the ring and I can't find my character anymore.
I do recall seeing those glitches, or like somebody's coming out to their music and all you see is like teeth and eyes just coming out.
It was so bad. I don't know how that got greenlit to get released. Like, it's so ridiculous.
They didn't worry about this. Like, nah, put it out. It's fine. These wrestling nerds don't know any different.
They'll just like it. They'll just like it because they can get it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's Undertaker's in it, so I'm going to enjoy it. But I looked up while you guys were talking about Madden. Current Madden is, according to Metacritic, which is obviously pulling from all the different places, it's a 60 on PC, a 63 on PS4, and a 70 on Xbox out of 100. So
it's not great, but it's still higher than what I would have expected.
Yeah, and the equivalent would be like 3 stars, essentially.
Yeah. But it never, like, if you go back, and I don't think there's ever been a time where it was like a 90, right?
No.
Like, it's been years. But that's because it's like, there's only so much you could change a football game until like the game of football changes. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, like starting like 5 years ago, it was pretty fucking good. Like, there's only so much better the graphics can get, and that's really the only thing you can change. And
then you update the roster because somebody got traded or something like that, or somebody retired.
Yeah, that's the only shit.
They just need to add blitz mode or something like that.
Yeah, they redid Blitz a few years ago, and like no one bought it for some reason. But if they did Blitz with actual,
well, I think they didn't even advertise it, because I know which one you're talking about, and it was like a month or so ago. I saw it on some like listicle channel thing about something or other, and I was like, holy shit, they released a new Blitz game?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Well, they did the same thing with NBA Jam a few years ago, and when they announced it, I got super excited. I was like, fuck yeah, an updated roster of NBA Jam. And it was for like the PS, I want to say it was the 4 and the 1, but I'm not sure. But like the roster, they didn't have everybody, and then like there was nothing, and like you could only, it was weird. Like the online version of it was like real wonky too, and it had a lot of issues. I was like, this is like, you shouldn't have issues with this game. Like, this is, you're making an arcade classic game. Like, make them look like cartoons and let me do backflips when I dunk. Like, that's all I want to do out of that game.
Right.
And nobody fucking bought that one either. the roster's real shaky. I remember the Suns only had like 5 players to choose from. I was like, okay, like we got 13 on the roster. Like you can give me everybody. It's okay.
Nah, you got to pay for those.
They're not going to make a difference though.
Oh
no, not at that time.
Sick burn.
That was pre-Bubble Suns when they decided to be great for some reason.
Right?
They thought they could outplay the COVID.
Yeah, damn near did.
Yep.
If the Nets would have outplayed the COVID, we would have been in the playoffs. But whatever. Karis LeVert. You know, well, that whole thing, like, I remember. So bubble season started. We had 8 games, and I remember like doing the math and looking at it. I was like, we need to go 8-0, and we need other teams to fuck up to have a shot at this. And I was like, all right, let's do it. First game against the Clippers, we win. And I was like, holy shit, that was gonna be one of the hardest games. And like, we go 8-0. And it comes down to the last game of the bubble season that I paid attention to because it's the one we needed. It was Blazers versus the Nets. And if the Blazers won, we don't make it. If the Nets win, we make it. The Nets, as time expires, down 1, they have the ball. And I'm like, holy shit, it is so close. And then Karis LeVert has a wide open lane, and he could have just taken a fucking layup. Nobody around him. He stopped, and he shoots a fadeaway turnaround from the fucking elbow, and he clinks it off the side of the rim as the buzzer expires. And I was just like, this is why hope is terrible. Because years of being horrible as the Suns have been. There's that one year where we almost made the playoffs. We actually had a really good season, but the West was like stacked. But outside of that one year, the last 9 years, the Suns have been out of it halfway through the season with like literally mathematically fucking done, like right after the All-Star break. And this was the one time I was like, holy shit, we have a shot. And it comes down to the last shot. And I'm like, he's got a layup. I'm all excited. I'm yelling at my TV. And then he just turns around like there's an imaginary defender in front of him and fucking clanks it off the rim and time expires. And I'm like, oh, well, that's it. No, now I'm done.
Bad that it's not even their fault that they lose. It's a whole nother team.
Yeah. It's brutal. Anyway.
That's awful.
And then the worst part, like we don't know when the next season starts. Like there's no locked in stone plan because this season's gone late.
Yeah,
so,
how late did this season go?
Well, the season would have been done by now, and like we would have had the draft like shortly. So, but the thing is usually like end of October, like the 20th ish, like 25th is when like the first set of games would start. So that's not gonna work this year, obviously. So people were talking like, oh, it might be January. Then people were talking, oh, it might be February, like late February when we start. And then like some people were like, they might not start till Christmas Day. And I was like, fuck. I was like,
you would think they would play a full season or they would do a half season then?
Well,
because do you keep it the same as what you've had in the past then, or do you just kind of screw up your whole schedule?
I don't know, like because they're literally talking about basically not having a season next year, but like being so late. So like I don't think they'll go until next December. Like I don't think it'll be a full year because I think at some point even fans, no fans, they'll eventually just be like, we have to get something on TV. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's right now. It's just like I don't know. Like nobody's like, don't know.
They're just like, we're taking this one day at a time, guys. Yeah. That's all we can do.
Like we're just trying to get through the finals this year, and then we'll reassess everything.
Fair enough. As a Phoenix fan, that's pretty much every season for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, next year.
There's always next year.
There's always next year. Season hasn't even started yet. Yep. Well, we got next year.
Next year.
And then the rallying cry for the Suns is like, "We'll always have the bubble. We always had the bubble.
We'll always have the bubble." At least you had the bubble, Mike.
That's true. Right? Some people didn't get the bubble. Fuck them people.
Yeah. I mean, don't though.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, or do.
If they say okay.
If they say okay.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah. It's a good starting point.
Joe, did you watch the Dune trailer?
I did watch the Dune trailer. Yes, I did.
Oh my god. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I think I agreed with your text that it feels like it's going to be like a 9-hour movie, or it better be a 9-hour movie.
Yeah, fucking better be.
I mean, having read the book, you're going to be cutting out a lot of shit if it's not a super long movie. Do we actually know a runtime yet for it?
No, I looked it up. There's nothing in there yet.
Yeah, fair enough. When's the release date for it, too?
December something or other. Hold on, let me pull it up.
So probably another good month or two before they release the runtime on that thing.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely gorgeous. There's a shit ton of people in that movie that I totally forgot were going to be in that movie. Like, I didn't even realize Jason Momoa or Dave Bautista were in that movie. It's been a couple of months since I've read it, so I had to go look and see like what characters they'd be playing. And I think they're playing the exact characters that would be good for him. Dave Bautista is playing one of the Harkonnen soldiers, one of the higher up guys. I can't remember his name. And then Momoa is playing one of Leto Atreides' guards or friends of Paul's, which I think was pretty cool. It's going to be nuts, the amount of CG in this movie and how good it looks, at least from the trailers, with a giant fucking sandworm that comes out.
Yo, when the ground started moving, and
yeah,
I was like, y'all better start running like a motherfucker. Zigzag, zigzag.
Like, I know from the books, those things were pretty huge because it takes like a whole team of people to actually control them. Spoiler. But to see that actually,
well, the spoiler would be saying that Paul can do it, but you know.
Well, but even not alone.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like from they're usually trained from a very young age to actually be able to pilot the worms. He was able to pick it up in a matter of a couple of years.
The pilot worms.
Yeah,
I mean, it's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
He's captaining the worms.
Either way you say it's gonna be weird, but I like it.
So it's really cool to see it on actual in the actual trailer and see, like, you get an actual idea of how big these things actually are. Yeah. What do you think?
I was just the teaser we saw in front of Tenet, I was like, okay, it looks cool. But when I watched it, I mean, I've watched it like 8 or 9 times in the last like 10 minutes, and it's just it's so good. It feels right. Does that sound weird? Like, everything feels
right. Well, there was one scene that I felt looked a little bit weird, and that was when Paul is training with Momoa's character towards the beginning of the trailers. They're training with shields on.
Yeah. And
the way they do the shield is really weird because it almost makes it look like they're trying to make them invisible.
Yeah, because it shimmers the light around them, yeah.
It was very weird. And I haven't watched the original Dune yet, but I know that scene, they did the shield in more of a block, solid type of look toward them, which to me looked a little bit better just because it didn't look like a fucking blur on camera. But that was really the only issue that I had with it.
Yeah, it was when I saw that I was like, oh, okay, so that's the shields, and then you can see when it's completely armored up, it's blue, and as it gets damaged, it starts to show red. I'm guessing probably the way they do it is that section of the shield starts to turn red. I'm guessing, But it looked pretty cool. But yeah, it was the thing about what I saw. Like one of the things I noticed is like there's a lot of background shit going on. Like you see ships and stuff like taking off and flying around, like atmosphere wise and stuff like that. And then like just the scope, it looks like, is just these huge. Like where the fuck did they film this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know either.
Because like there's that one scene where all those ships are landing. You see the soldiers when you see Momoa run up to Paul and grab him, and there's that you can see the Guardian Wall, and I'm like, where the what? I know it's CG, it's got to be, but where the fuck do you get this amount of room in desert land to even shoot that with even a green screen? Because like there's nothing around.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like these. I don't know what these sets are, but man, they are impressive.
Right.
But yeah, no, it looked pretty cool. And then the atmosphere of the movie seems really cool too. Like that song they were using was dope as shit in that trailer.
What song was that?
I can't remember what it was now. But the way it was playing, because it started off real slow, and as the action packed up, it just kind of picked up and went through. I mean, it's no Tenet where the seats were moving. But,
right.
you know.
I will mention there was one more thing that kind of took me out of the movie, and that's just because I pointed at it and laughed, is that so the suits that they use are really cool looking. They're obviously very functional towards what their moisture gathering in the book. There's one particular scene where they have a close-up of somebody, and you could see the gloves that they're wearing, and they quite noticeably have the O on the knuckles.
Oh, for the Oakleys?
And those are Oakley gloves. Like there's no other company that I know of that puts O's on their gloves except for Oakley. Looks like Oakley gloves.
Well, Oakley made it all the way to Acris, dude.
Apparently, Oakley has lasted into the far future,
and
now makes moisture suits for the people of what was it, Acris?
Acris,
Acris, yeah. I thought that was funny though.
How far did you get in the books? Did you read Messiah yet?
No, I've only read the first one.
I'm gonna reread the first one probably next, after I finish Dead Zone, just so I can be fresh on the movie before December. And then I have Messiah, so I'm probably gonna read that afterwards. Because I doubt. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if this one does good enough, I doubt we'll get Messiah right away. But
right.
I kind of hope, in a way, they're going to surprise us and be like, hey, this is Dune Part 1. And like Part 2 will be out soon.
Part 1.
Yeah, you know, like, oh, cool. Because you can, once you get to the battle stuff, you can easily separate the first part of the book and the second part of the book into two different parts, you know what I mean? Like Paul's making his way to, because the second half would be him coming back with all the, what's his name? Lord what's-his-face? I just looked it up. I'm too dumb to remember what it was. Harvey Bardem's character, Freeman. The leader of the Freeman. Yeah, Sletch, because he's the one that is the Civil War army, right? Like they're the other group that are kind of fighting against Paul's dad or whatever.
Well, there's a bunch of different groups of the what do they call themselves? The Freemen.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those groups, and that he's the one that essentially unites them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's the dude,
the Harkonnen army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you could definitely split that up, because there is definitely a very I don't know if I want to say tonal difference, but like the beginning, like the first half of the book really is a very much more political book where you have. And I can't even explain it very well, because I remember reading the book and still not fully understanding why Atreides, as a family, was going to go take over that planet. They were already ruling one planet, and then something, I can't remember what the Emperor was like of this system of worlds, was like, nah, you're going to go rule this other planet that has a lot of problems, and you're going to go there and fix them. Even though that the current people weren't really, the people that were running it weren't really happy with that type of thing. And then you have obviously the Leto, who is the king, gets killed, and the Harkonnen army retakes the planet, and essentially it's Paul trying to come back, who was the son of Duke Leto, to come back and retake it with the Freemasons, the indigenous people of the planet. So so literally that's just like the first half of the book.
Yeah.
You know, in the second half, well, that's pretty much the first half is just him, you know, losing his family, and his family coming there, losing his family, kind of learning that he's got some powers and stuff like that. And then it in the book, it kind of like skips 5 years, and you find out that in that intervening time, he's been training with the Freemen. He's been learning more about his powers with his mom. And then the last half of the book is that, and him gathering up all the Freemen in order to try and take back the planet. So you can definitely split them right there. One of them more political and one more of a action-packed riding sandworms and fucking shit up type thing.
Pulling ships out of the sky.
That was something that was kind of a little bit disappointing about the book, is that there wasn't a whole lot of action. You had the bits in the beginning when they're on the run, and then you had basically the final battle at the end, which was over fairly quickly. They do mention skirmishes and stuff like that had happened within the 5-year period of him training and whatnot. But that's it. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was hoping that there would be a little bit more there to show you how the Freemasons fight, and how Paul fights, and how Paul leads, and whatnot. So hopefully the movie could give that.
Hopefully, give us 3 parts.
Did you guys like the previous?
We hobbiting this shit?
Yeah, it's long enough.
Mike's never going to see it then.
They don't. Well, there's no dwarf singing.
There's no dwarf singing. Yeah. Maybe Mike will see it.
No. No dragons too. For some reason.
But there are giant fucking worms.
There are giant.
That's
fucking
awesome,
worms.
because I love trimmers, so
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
The most terrifying trimmer.
Well, sort of. Yeah.
I have no like connection to this, because my only like experience with Dune is there's been 2 sets of movies from it, right?
No,
just the one. Okay, so that's the only
what's his face made.
Only thing that I've ever seen Dune was, and I saw it as a young kid, and I just remember like as a kid thinking this is so fucking long and boring that I have no connection in my head to it, like whatsoever. Like I don't remember anything about it. I could picture, like if you show me a picture from the movie, I'd be like, yeah, that's that Dune. But like other than that, I don't know anything about the story or anything. So seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks like it could be exciting. And obviously, you know, shit's told better. Like sci-fis that were made too long ago with too small of a budget sometimes can be, you know what I mean? But I'm kind of interested in going back, and because I've been thinking for a couple years now, I was like, I should probably watch that because people always talk about it, and it seems to be pretty polarizing. Like my take, like from what I hear, like people either really love it or they kind of fucking hate it. And I was like, oh, that interests me more than like a movie that everybody loves for some reason, because I'm just curious about it. So I have to set aside some 8 hours or whatever it's going to be to watch the original.
Yeah,
something like that. I will correct myself. I do remember that they made a made for TV mini-series of Dune.
Okay, yeah. I knew there was
2 parts.
I totally forgot about that.
There was Dune and then Children of Dune.
Seeing it, I remember seeing it advertised on the Sci-Fi Channel, I believe it was.
Yeah, buddy.
So I must have seen the original, because I think 2000 I would have paid more attention to it at that point.
The version you saw had Sting in it, Mike?
Do you remember if David Bowie was in it or not?
Sting, not David Bowie.
Sorry, Sting.
Sting.
No, can't remember.
Yeah, Sting
was
in
the original one, the one that I just remember what his name was. Now I forgot again.
Kyle MacLachlan.
No, but who directed it? David Lynch.
David Lynch, yeah.
Yeah, directed the original one.
And it is bonkers. Bonkers, I say.
It looks bonkers.
Well, it's because it is.
Uh-huh.
And there's like, what, 40 fucking novels?
God, I don't even know.
Why didn't HBO just make a TV show about it then?
Oh, because it's finished and they like to take stuff that's not finished yet. Just kidding. They've only done that once. Yeah, I mean, there's like, of the ones that Frank Herbert
Yeah,
wrote,
I definitely saw the movie.
One,
Looking at
two,
the pictures of it, yeah, it was the movie that I saw, the 1981.
Yeah. There's 6 novels that Herbert wrote himself, and then there's a shit ton that were written afterwards by his son and Kevin J. Anderson. So many. There's like 12 or 13 after that. Just madness. But anyhow, I thought the trailer looked dope. And, they're going to do it right. They got them blue eyes from taking that spice.
Mm-hmm. You kind of got a little bit of a look of it when he puts his hand into the sand, and you're like, you see the little glittery stuff, and you're like, ooh, the spice melange.
You're like, ooh, that's a good dirt. Let's snort
That's
that dirt.
Good dirt.
Yeah, it was funny. I was like, what was it? I was looking for something on iTunes or looking up on Apple TV. I was looking for Idle Hands. And when I brought up the search thing, it always has like the most recent, like most popular things right now or whatever. And like Dune, like the 1984 one, Dune is like number 2. And I was like, that's because people are like, oh, let's go back and watch the original. I'm like, ooh, you're gonna see that.
You're not gonna fondly remember that like you probably do.
Yeah, it's like you might have forgotten some things that happened in that movie. I mean, you're gonna get an amazing soundtrack by fucking Toto and Brian Eno, but I mean, you're also gonna see a lot of weird shit like that, like fucking what's the fat guy's name? Baron. God damn, what is his name?
No clue.
Baron, I can't remember his actual name now. Baron, whatever his name. The fat guy that's always in the mud.
Kenneth McMillan?
Yeah, that's the one.
Baron Vladimir Harkonnen?
Yeah.
Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, Harkonnen. Yeah, I was trying to think of Vladimir.
Putin.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, Putin.
Yeah, But yeah, no, I always remember that scene because he comes out of that like mud, the goop, and it's like, oof, that's not good. But they did show that scene of because Stalin Skarsgård plays him, Vladimir, in the new one, and you see him in it, and he turns and he's in the goop, and I was like, ugh, he's gonna have the gross sores on him. The yuck, the spice OD stuff.
Yeah.
And your body's like, nah, we're good. No, you're gonna keep putting the spice in? Cool. Here's these weird sores that fucking ooze shit everywhere. Space herpes.
I don't even remember that from the books.
My IMDb search history is so fucking bizarre.
How bizarre.
Okay, how bizarre? How bizarre?
He said the thing with the stuff.
Now, this is just the top few. Dune, Eight-Legged Freaks, Mario Van Peebles, because of last week. Christopher Nolan, Tenet, Speed 2, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Russell Crowe, and Just Friends. You can see where my head's been at lately. It's kind of been all over the place.
Google AdSense doesn't even know what to make of you. Did you start showing him ads for everything?
Movies. All movies.
All movies.
We show him weird shit
all
now.
The movies.
Is that a movie? Show it to him. Ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, no, that's about it. That's all I got.
Speaking of movies, I finally watched Jojo Rabbit this past week.
What'd you think?
No one told me this would be a sad movie.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna tell you guys because that one hit me hard too.
Well, now I know. Fuck you, sadness.
That was a sad movie,
bro.
Never going back.
That shit fucking hits, right?
Yeah, I admittedly, like, it was still really funny, but I think it just ended up being more of a heartwarming, sad movie than anything, with some laughter in there, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, what the fucked up
Didn't
part
really
too
like.
is you're on this trajectory of things are going well, right? Like he's got a
Yes.
he's got a job after he blows himself up with a grenade. You're like,
Which was
yeah, cool.
hilarious.
Yeah, you're like, oh, cool. And he sees his friend a couple times, like, oh, cool. And all of a sudden, hey, those shoes look familiar, hanging on that lady's body.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
where did the fun go? Because
Or
the
even
fun's
just
gone.
The parts where he's like, because you mentioned that he blows himself with the grenade up. He blows himself up with the grenade. Jesus,
He blows himself.
and that was funny.
Nice.
And then he spends the rest of the movie talking about how he looks like a freak and he's disfigured. And you're like, this isn't funny. This is actually sad that he goes about his life thinking this.
Yep.
And his little friend, you hardly ever see until the end of the movie when you get the one scene from the trailer.
Yeah.
He drops the mortar and blows some
The shop up.
store or
Yeah.
a shop or something like that. But the other thing that I thought was funny, and the main thing that I wanted to really just mention here, is that they took a lot of popular songs that you know of, and they made German versions of them, which throughout the movie, like I'd catch a song and I'd be like, that sounds familiar, but wouldn't really think about it, all the way up until the end and the credits roll. And I'm like, that's Heroes by David Bowie, but it's German. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is. And so I was just like, Siri, play Heroes. And sure enough, like, it's note for note the same, even vocally very the same. It almost sounds like David Bowie singing in German.
Yeah,
That's
real
how
weird.
good it was. Yeah, it was real weird. But I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty cool, the movie, to make the German versions of that. And then it was also kind of cool. You don't really get the Americans coming in until the very end. And so I was wondering, because throughout the whole entire movie, they're all speaking English, even though this is a German country. I was wondering how they were going to handle that once the Americans came through. And the Americans, for the most part, actually don't even say a word once they come rolling through. There is one point where somebody does start shouting, but it's almost incomprehensible. Kind of like, and I'm mentioning this because it's like, as an American, somebody who only speaks English, listening to somebody that says something in a foreign language, you can't really make it out. So having them go through the whole entire movie speaking English, but you know that they're speaking German when the one American does actually have a line, it's incomprehensible about what he's saying.
Because that's how a
So I thought
German
that
would
was
hear
pretty
it.
cool. Because, yeah, he didn't, as a kid, JoJo wouldn't know what he's actually saying.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But, yeah, go into it expecting some funny and a lot of sadness and heart.
Nope. No, thank you. I don't like sadness.
Do it,
I will avoid at all costs.
bitch.
Do it, you bitch.
No, sir, you bitches.
All right, fine. Don't do it then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will.
Got him! Fucking got him! This bitch tried to fucking not reverse psychology me, and I got him to reverse psychology himself. Boom.
Boom. You've been backward. What does he say in the movie? Backward psychology or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it
I
was,
can't
yeah.
remember. Fuck.
I don't like
That
it.
would've been too
I don't like
perfect.
you guys using your
Too perfect.
intellect against me.
The scene with the inspection when they come in to
So
make sure,
intense.
dude. Because I saw a clip of that online before I saw it, and I was like, this is pretty funny. But then that whole scene is one of the most tense scenes in a movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, right?
I was like, shit's about to go down, and then, okay, it's not close now, and they're gone. I was like,
And you finally just realized that. You're like, oh, I
Yeah.
can finally breathe, because Jesus Christ, I didn't realize I was holding my breath that whole entire time.
yeah, it was gnarly. I was like, holy shit, I don't like this at all.
Nope.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
Speaking of which, have you guys? It just premiered on Saturday on HBO. Did you guys watch Spies in Disguise yet?
No, I've been watching too much other stuff that's come out.
The animated one with Will Smith and Tom Holland.
I'm not.
It's actually extremely funny.
Damn it.
And I was like, wow, this is actually really well done. I didn't realize it was done by the same people who did Ice Age.
Okay.
But it's extremely funny. And it's not one of those things where it's like the story is amazing. It's you can guess what's going to happen 10 minutes into it, but that's not the part. The computer animation is really good, but it's just really really funny. And like borderline not appropriate for children. Like there's a lot of like almost male nudity.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, but it's really funny. It's just a like stupid funny movie, but it's pretty entertaining if you want to have a good hearty laugh. But yeah, that's about it. Mike, got anything?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. I guess that's it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We are
Joe.
Mike.
I am Cody. And as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.